Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So I'm just going to kind of quickly explain the plan for the next full set of readings. I'm hoping that they are going to be shorter. I know I say that every time. I'm going to do my best. So this is going to be the kind of layout for it. Now I'm getting a lot of stuff about the dragons, right? And the dragons are coming through as this energy of facing your fears, defeating your own inner demons, really getting empowered by your own shadow self, kind of becoming whole, incorporating the shadow. So that kind of Carl Jung style philosophy of the golden shadow, right? Doing the shadow work to get to the point where you can utilize your own shadow in a way that is very creative and also healing for others. So it could be like it's just like showing other people the path. And so I used the dragon deck and I said, okay, what is going to be the theme of this set of readings? And I know I wanted to kind of ask two questions, but I wanted a theme. So Asclepius has come out. So Asclepius was the god of medicine and healing in Greek mythology. It also talks about like transformation and transmutation and things like this. But this idea of healing is what I've kind of taken and ran with. So I thought what I'm going to ask is what needs to be healed and how do you do this? So this is my own personal reading, the cards that I've pulled for myself. The Page of Swords. So what I'm healing, now the Page of Swords can indicate an inquiring mind, you know, wanting to learn more. But why would that need to be healed, right? So the story of this card actually talks about how she finds this weapon. It's like a sword lying in the sand, but she doesn't know how to use it. And it's sort of like having a piece of information or having some kind of knowledge, but not knowing how to apply it. And then I pulled for how do I do this? I've pulled this Nine of Swords card. Now this Nine of Swords is like stress and anxiety and fear. So I got, you need to face your fears, right? You need to face the thing that scares you. It's kind of like an all in your head energy, right? He's kind of looks like he's having nightmares. So it's like, and this mermaid, it can't really hurt him. It's like trying to climb the wall, but it's it's not going to reach him. So it is kind of like facing irrational fears kind of thing, or facing even real fears, but facing your fears head on. And this is how we do the shadow work. So I've been getting this message a few times. It came through in Aquarius's reading. I was talking to my daughter about it this morning. We went for a walk and I was talking about my own belief system is that we are reincarnated. We have many, many lives on earth. And the point of it is that we're learning soul growth, right? We're learning how to harden our soul and turn it into something that's like beautiful and positive. So I feel like the universe knows what we need to do, what we need to heal, right? What part of ourselves needs work, where our shadows lie. And then the universe puts us into situations where we're forced to confront those fears. So you may find you keep repeating certain cycles in your life, right? Or, you know, and these cycles, they keep opening up old wounds. It's because that's what our journey here on earth is designed for. Now, this is just my own opinion. You may have a completely different perspective and that's absolutely fine. But, you know, it's my channel. I'm sharing my ideas. So there, go to someone else's channel if you don't like it, bye. But yeah, I think that we're here to learn certain lessons. And so it is about doing the things that scare us, right? Fortune favours the bold. Not in a reckless kind of way, but in a way where, you know, it can be very gradual. We can ease ourselves into it gently. You know, we don't have to throw ourselves in at the deep end and hope we don't drown. We can start off in the kiddie pool, right? And work our way up to the deep end, however you want to do it, however it works for you. But it's if we don't complete these cycles, if we don't learn these lessons, if we don't defeat these inner demons, right, then we're just going to repeat it and again and again and again. And this can cross lifetimes. So if you opt out, let's say, you're just going to be reborn and you're just going to keep facing those same situations until you learn to deal with it. Now this could be learning how to stand up and find your own voice, or you know, not let people push you around, or learning how to be authentic even when people are judging you for it, right? There's a lot of different ways that this can play out. It's going to be personal for everybody. I've been getting this thing as well with death here. it's just like facing the things that scare you is the way it's coming through. So I almost feel like this is not only a lesson for me, but it's a lesson that I'm sharing with everybody else. It's part of my healing journey, and it can also perhaps have a positive effect on other people, I'm hoping. So this understanding that death is not something to fear. It's not something that shouldn't be talked about. My daughter's downstairs watching Hercules as well, by the way, and we just had a conversation about how Disney's Hercules kind of glorifies Zeus and turns Hades into the bad guy, when actually if you look at the examples of the behavior of these two gods, I would say Hades is genuinely kind of comes off a lot cleaner than Zeus. Zeus was not the best. And Hades didn't really have much to do with Hercules, not that much anyway, but it was Hera that was actually making life miserable for Hercules because Zeus kept on cheating on her, right? So yeah, Disney definitely biblified, I would say, the classical culture. So, but in classical culture, if we're talking about Hades, the god of the underworld, he was just doing a job. It was the job he got by lot. They drew straws. Zeus got the sky, Poseidon got the sea, and Hades got the underworld. And he had a really important job to do. He had to make sure that the dead stayed in the underworld so that they didn't all rise up and create havoc on Earth, right? He was this kind of, I don't know, he always comes across to me as this kind of businessman energy, right? He's got a job to do, he's doing it. And at the same time, if you look at things like Dispater, which was kind of a variation of that myth, it was his job to put nutrients in the soil and gems in the earth and precious metals that the humans could use, right? So it was very much about riches. That he was called the Rich One. Now often they wouldn't say his name because they were scared of invoking this spirit, but again, that's just part of the fear, right? The fear mongering around death. It's not something that's scary. And so the beautiful thing about this card, which is from the Tarot Della Nui deck, is that it's drawing on Spanish culture, the Day of the Dead, where the customs are, people speak more openly about death and loss and grief, and they believe that their spirits are in the afterlife, and they honor that, and the Day of the Dead is a celebration. So there's different attitudes towards death and the afterlife, and I think that rather than it being something to fear, it's something that we should see as natural, as part of transformation. Now this Asclepius card actually talks about transmutation and transformation, and how, for example, a tree, the leaves fall off the tree, the acorns fall off the tree, it creates new trees, right? So it's this cycle of death and rebirth. For me personally, with my belief system. So it's not an ending. Death to me isn't an ending. Death to me is a transformation into something else. So with what do I have to heal? I feel like the message to me is I have to heal attitudes and the way we think about death, like collectively. So how do we do this? We face our fears, right? We go into the night, we do that shadow work, we go into the underworld and confront our inner demons. So the star card here is having some kind of wish. It is also a card about healing, right? Wish fulfillment can also be very healing for us. So having some sort of wish or having some kind of like guidance, it's like this feeling of like, I know where I have to go. I know where my journey is leading me. And it leads you, or whoever, me, everyone, through this period of confusion with this Seven of Cups. But the beautiful thing is, it's like, with it ending with the sun, it's almost like a light shining that leads you through the darkness and out to the other side, right? You come out of the other side of it. So with the sun card, it's like, you can see as well, she's like coming out of something. It's almost like she's coming out of a cocoon or something into the new day. So it does have this kind of like going into the darkness and out of the darkness. Again, like I say, Hercules or Heracles, if we give him his proper Greek name, classicist gets grumpy about, maybe that's what I should call this video, classicist gets grumpy about the Disneyfication of classical culture. you can talk about things like Orpheus or Heracles, and these characters that come up quite a lot in my readings because they go into the underworld and they resurface. It's not something that most people can do, and it's actually only the heroes that do these things, and Persephone as well. So this ability to transverse both the overworld and the underworld is a special gift. So we can talk about Heracles. He goes down, he's tasked with getting Cerberus and taking it to the overworld, he takes it back down again, all this kind of stuff. So it's metaphorical. I'm not saying that anyone should do anything silly now. Again, I feel like you have to persevere, you know, you have to persevere, and this is a message here as well, persevering through the dark times, persevering through the things that are difficult, because you understand that everything is just a lesson, everything is just teaching you how to cope. And sometimes we feel like we can't cope. How many times in your life have you had one of those breaking point moments where you think, I can't go on, I can't cope with this anymore, but you're still here, right? The new dawn breaks, after the night comes the day, so there's always a tomorrow. You just have to keep the trick is to persevere, because it's only through perseverance that we learn the lessons. If we give up, we don't learn the lesson, the cycle repeats. So I'd encourage everybody to just keep being strong, keep persevering, and understand that if you're going through something that's really tough, it's making you really strong, right? Diamonds are forged through pressure. So the soul is a metaphor for a diamond for me in my readings. So it's almost like I was saying to my daughter, it's this energy of I feel overwhelmed. You know, Seven of Cups is a card about confusion. I feel overwhelmed. I don't know if I can do this, but I'm going to try, because I'd rather try and fail but take the lessons under my belt than not try at all and not learn anything. So it just comes through this huge facing your fears energy. If you go back to my original All Signs reading, the metaphors that were coming through was Archangel Michael, who is again, everything's just metaphor, right? And everything's just energy, who is like this divine being. It's an angel leading you down into the very depths of Tartarus to meet this black dragon, which is like Typhon, right? It's like the devil. And it's like, well, why would Archangel Michael lead you to the devil? It's because he wants you to befriend your shadow self, right? He wants you to understand that the things that scare you are not necessarily evil, or you know, it's there's nothing good or bad, but thinking makes it so. So obviously, like I say that with a pinch of salt, there are obviously things that I think generally most of the population agree with are wrong, right? There are certain boundaries in place, certain laws for a reason. But other than that, I think it's a case of what scares you? Why does it scare you? Is there any way that you could gain more information about this and gain more familiarity with it in order to understand how to navigate this situation? So they're showing me a maze. So it's like you could be going into a situation where you know that there's going to be bad people, you know that there's going to be dangers, and it's like, well, you gain experience through being in those situations. So it's like they're showing me like a nightclub, right? If you went to a nightclub and you've never been before, you might not know to watch your drink, you might not know not to accept drinks from strangers, but it's through experience the where we go. I'm familiar with this environment. It's natural for me to, you know, put my thumb on the top of the bottle, you know, to drink out of a bottle, put my thumb on top. So it's like the familiarity makes something less scary because you know how to tackle that situation, you know how to deal with it. So I hope that nothing I'm saying in this set of readings is too triggering for anyone. Everybody, you know, trust your own intuition to guide you, keep yourself safe, you know, go into things, like I say, you don't have to jump in at the deep end. You can go in the kiddie pool first, you can wear armbands, you know, you can learn the lessons slowly. And my daughter, she replied as well to all this with, I don't know if anyone watches Dr. Mike, he's a YouTuber, he's a doctor, and she said he has this video where he's really scared of scorpions, so he went to a zoo and he held a scorpion, because again, it's familiarity defeats the fear. So that's what I have for you. And then my advice cards were soul family, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone, let your friends help you, right? If somebody has more experience, take their advice. Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening, right? Pretty good card. And the ever unfolding rose, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. So understanding that if you're going through tough times, if things feel like bad stuff is happening to you, that's seeing yourself as a victim, where you can flip it and you can be like, this is really hard, I wish this wasn't happening. However, I understand that what is happening is just a lesson, right? It's just designed to make me learn something, make me explore. Excuse me, my tummy's rumbling. I had a massive, like a fake bacon bagel, and yeah, my tummy's saying thank you now. So yeah, it's like saying, this is really tough, but I know that there's lessons in this. I know that there's stuff in this that's going to make me stronger. And that can be really, really hard, especially in certain situations where, you know, you feel like the worst things are happening. But yeah, there's lessons to be learned. It's happening for you, not to you. So some tough stuff, but we'll see where we go with this. So that's the plan for the set of readings. That's my personal reading that I'm sharing with you and what I'm being told. So really looking forward to this bit. I do want to say though, and I'm going to read this card to you, the Angel de la Nuit. It's a unique card to the Tarot de la Nuit deck, and it's actually as I was talking about in that Tell Me Anything reading, with this black dragon befriending it and it then becoming your protector. The Angel de la Nuit is like an angel that protects you when you're doing shadow work, when you're doing things or facing parts of your life that are really, really difficult. The Angel de la Nuit is by your side. It's a protective angel. So I'll just read that to kind of close out the reading, and then I'm going to start reading for you guys and we'll see what you all get. I'm quite excited. So yeah, I feel like the Tarot de la Nuit, the Angel de la Nuit, is going to guide us through this healing, soul healing, right? I'm not talking about if you've got a sore thumb. I'm not going to give you a tarot card on that, right? That's not what the reading's for. This is soul work. So I am the angel of night. If you've picked me, then my message to you is that your inner night is soon coming to an end. You may have walked in darkness for some time, but soon, very soon, a new full moon will rise. I think it's the full moon tonight, actually, when I'm doing this reading, and it will show you the way. My phosphorescent butterflies are here to guide you. Believe in luck, believe in me, and believe in you. My black soft wings are protecting you from now on. Into your heart I whisper my sweet lullaby. Have no fear, honey, everything is gonna be fine. The night is nothing to be afraid of anymore, and the warm sun that you will hold within is ready to shine again. See? See? You're gonna shine. I keep getting let it shine, but I take that as well. Let it shine. Let yourself shine, right? Come out of the dark into the light. I feel like that's something as well. My daughter, she's got a playlist, and she was listening to certain songs, and I don't know if it was like Imagine Dragons. I may have to just pause and go and ask her. Or was it Avicii? There's like 3 songs back to back in a row that all said the same message. And again, this is exactly how the cards came out. I didn't pull it on camera, but I'm not setting anything up here. This is how it came out, and I keep getting the same message. This thing about being led through the dark into the light. I feel like it was The Nights by Avicii. I'm gonna Google it. Give me a second. Yeah, so once upon a younger year, when all our shadows disappeared, the animals inside came out to play, went face to face with all our fears, learned our lessons through the tears, made memories we knew would never fade. Yeah, my father told me, think of me if you're ever afraid. One day you'll leave this world behind, so make a life you will remember. Yeah, so that was one of them. And then I think the other one was Demons by Imagine Dragons. Demons, Imagine. It was like there was 3 songs back to back after we'd been talking about this that all said the same thing. It's like being led, being led into the darkness in order to come out on the light on the other side. It wasn't that one, but it fits as well. Your eyes, they shine so bright, I want to save that light. It's where my demons hide. So yeah, it's like facing the inner demons. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't remember the songs. If I remember them, I'll put them in the description box down below. I'll go and ask my daughter. But there was like I said, 3 songs, and they all had these lines about go through the darkness to get to the light, right? You have to face your fears to have that soul growth, to have that liberation. The sun is also a card about freedom and liberation. And your fears, if you don't deal with them, they keep you trapped and they keep you small and they keep you bound and tied, right? They stop you from doing the things you want to do and having the fun that you want to have. So guys, that's the plan. Do take care of yourselves, and I will see you again soon. Bye.